Well, we got a great do-it-yourself project for you today. If you'd like, grab a couple friends. I know I have. I've got my friends from the Quick Creek Company. We're going to be using their products. We have Rich and Jeff, and welcome, guys. I hope you get a lot of work out here, a lot of work out. All right, let's talk a little bit about the project here, Rich. What do we got going?
All right, we talked to the owner, and she decided she needed a little bit more room on her deck. So we thought, let's take that grill off of that deck and create a nice little grill pad for her down at the base of the deck and finish it up with a nice walkway out to the driveway.
And it's going to be a very special grill pad and a very special walkway.
Right.
Tell me about that.
We're going to be using the Quick Creek Walk Maker, some fiber reinforced concrete, and some liquid cement color.
And what that means to you is you can create the look of stamped concrete. All right, Jeff, let's talk a little bit about the molds we can use to get that stamped concrete look. You have several at Quick Creek.
Well, Gary, we do have a choice. We have a basket weave, we have a brick mold, we have what we call a cobblestone, and we also have a European tile mold. This is the one we're going to be using today.
Well, let's talk about setting that particular form onto the earth. First of all, we went down, removed the sod, and we got about a 2-inch depth. Now tell me about how that form's installed. Is it just one of them? Does the consumer just have to buy one form or multiple ones?
Consumer just buys one form, and they'll set that form. They'll typically start in a corner. It's one form per bag.
This particular homeowner also wants coloring. You have several choices in coloring.
Yes, we have a charcoal color, a buff color, a red. We also have a terracotta.
Okay, and this person wanted a buff, so tell me, what do I do with this canister of buff colorant?
Well, you're going to mix it to a 5-gallon pail of water, and it's important to mix the color to the water.
Okay.
Then you have a colored water.
Okay, and then we'll pour it into the concrete mix. If you have a project of this size, my particular tip here would be to go ahead and rent a mixer. It's going to be a lot easier. Of course, you can always mix it up in the wheelbarrow. Now, as we take the color into the concrete, a very special concrete mix we're using here. As you notice, there was no rebar on the earth. Tell me about that.
It's a fiber reinforced concrete, which means it reduces the need for a wire mesh or rebar.
Okay.
And you have thousands and thousands of these tiny little fibers that are within the concrete that you won't see when you're finished, but they're in the mix and they'll prevent it from cracking.
Tell me a little bit about the mix, Rich. How about the PSI, the strength? I know we're going down 2 inches. Is that thick enough?
Yeah, it is, because Quick Creek fiber reinforced concrete is over 4,000 PSI in strength, much more than any homeowner is going to need for any project around the house.
I interrupted Jeff earlier when he talked about removing the form. Tell me about that, how we can kind of eliminate the repetition of the pattern itself.
What you're going to do is, when you turn that a quarter of a turn, it's going to create another look that way. And in order to repeat that first stone, you've got to go 4 different four different forms before you repeat the pattern.
Sure, otherwise it doesn't look like you got a bunch of forms lined up in the store. So a little tip there, and I appreciate. Now, how long do we have to let that sit in that form?
Once you get it finished and finish the top of it off, it's going to be about 4 or 5 minutes. You're going to remove each corner and pick it right up. And it's still going to be wet.
All right. We got to let this dry overnight, correct?
That's right.
And then you're going to kind of dress it up a little bit?
We'll be back to dress it up the following day.
What kind of things are you going to add to dress it up?
We're just going to take a little bit of Quick Creek play sand and then throw a little bit of a wood form on the outside of it just to give it a finish.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, that looks fantastic. Before we had this deck, we had the grill taking up the whole thing. Now we got the grill down. I'll tell you what, really, really looks nice. Jeff, just an idea per square foot, what's something like this run?
It's under $2, Gary.
Under $2.
Under $2.
Wow. Of course, you got a little bit of labor involved, but under $2 is a great deal. Now, Rich, after this really cures, and for concrete, 28 days is the magic number. Can I seal that? Should I seal that?
We recommend sealing any type of concrete that's been poured, but you do need to wait 28 days in order for the concrete to cure enough so that the sealer takes effect.
Okay, and you have the sealer. What would you recommend for this?
We have a really good acrylic, penetrating acrylic sealer.
Okay.
And that works very well, gives you a light sheen. We also have a couple of other options there where you can get a glossy finish.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Well, I think everybody will agree it looks great. If you want to tackle that particular project, you can pick up some Quick Creek products. They're available just about anywhere home improvement projects are sold. Thank you very much. Looks great.